Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Kent State head softball coach Eric Oakley. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well. So season literally, I think, starting this week. So it's definitely going to be fun. How exciting is it to get the season going?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're ready. You could tell the team's ready. A little bit of different energy this week of practice. They definitely just pick up a little bit of hop in their step and a little bit of goofiness, and so that's a good sign. That means they're getting ready to go.
Okay, let's talk about who's going to be out there for you guys. Before we get to that, how's practice gone the last few weeks? What have you kind of noticed with this team?
It's going pretty good. We're changing things up a little bit. We graduated 3 4-year starters and another pretty significant leadership voice from last year, and then 2 players who were 5th years. So a lot of leadership left. So I think part of this year's team was about new leaders emerging and what that's going to look like, and so I see that happening in a very positive way.
Yeah. Okay, let's go around the diamond. Tell me who's going to be out there for Kent State this year.
So we're a pretty traditionally strong pitching school, and so we return Jess LeBeau, who had the bulk of our innings last year, the sophomore who kind of got thrown into the ace role when Andrea Scully went down with an injury last year. Andrea is back this year, and she's ready to go this weekend. And then Gabby Sherman, who had probably the second most innings last year, is back. We also got Annalise Kelly back, who had a year off during that COVID year. And then really pretty strong freshman that we like, Kylie Ringler, that'll be coming in. So a lot of pitching depth right now. We need to stay healthy. That's kind of been something that we've struggled with the last 3 or 4 years. So if we stay healthy in the circle, that's what we see happening. Probably the bulk of the innings, Jess LeBeau, Andrea Scully, Annalise Kelly, Gabby, and we're going to want to get Kylie some innings too. So it's going to be interesting. Catching right now, it's looking. We graduated a 4-year starter in that position. So Emily Whitby is a sophomore, has some experience from last year. She'll be getting her opportunities. I rarely catch one pitcher or one catcher for the entire season. So, we'll also be giving Jalen Young some opportunities. She's a freshman that came in this year with us. She's shown us some nice things in the fall, and so far, this last few weeks of practice. So she'll actually probably be in the first game. She'll catch Andrea in the first game we throw this weekend. And then, there's going to be a little bit of competition for positions early in the season. I like to mix things up. I want people to be pushed. And like I said, obviously graduating as many as we did, there are some spots that we want freshmen to come in and compete for, but we also want the people that were behind them, for the last couple of years to have opportunities too. So third base right now, it's looking like Alex Whitmore. She wasn't able to play as much last year, but she looks really good right now. Delaney Robeson is a freshman, will get some opportunities there. Julia Mazzanick was our starting shortstop last year. She's a junior. She'll be at shortstop. Again, Delaney Robeson and Alex Whitmore both might also get some reps there early on. Second base is probably one of our more veteran positions this year, and that's Sabrina Kershner, who's done a lot for us. She's got experience at short as well, but we like her at second, and that gives us she'll be a leadoff, and that gives us a pretty solid veteran in the infield. And then first base, there's a freshman, Savannah Wing, who will get some reps there. There's a senior, Chloe Cruz, who's been waiting in the wings and waiting for her turn, and she'll get an opportunity there. And then Brenna Brownfield, who is also coming off of an injury last year, is back this year for a 5th year. She might be more DP, but she can also play a little bit of first base. Outfield, Brooklyn Witt will anchor us in center field. And then Madison Cole, also coming off an injury, is back. And she's somebody who transferred to us from Rutgers a few years ago now. This is actually her 3rd year with us, but she spent most of last year injured. And she looks great. She's healthy. I'm excited for her to have the opportunity to play the best ball of her career at this point, and so she'll probably get some reps in right and left. Jess LeBeau as a pitcher will probably, when she's not pitching, go over left field because we want to keep her bat in the lineup. And Jade Raymer is another one who'll probably rotate in the outfield.
All right. So looking at where you guys were and looking at the conference this year, what do you think about where you guys stack up in the MAC conference, and how was and a lot of one of the big keys that the MAC's getting back this year is you're going to have your friends from the Big Ten are going to be playing you guys a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's nice. I think we like competing with the Big Ten. We tend to see a lot of the top half of the Big Ten, with Michigan, usually the top team there. I feel like the MAC as a conference, especially the top half of the MAC, I think competes very well with the Big Ten. We might struggle sometimes with some of the top teams, but I think with the middle of the pack and the bottom half of the Big Ten, I think the MAC competes very well. So it'll be interesting to see how all of us do. Miami is a great team, had a great year last year, dominated the conference, returns almost their entire team. There was only really one player of real, I don't want to say significance, but one player that I think was their starting third baseman that they lost. But other than that, they're returning Carly Spade and Allie Cummins and obviously Courtney Veerstra, Bree Pratt, a lot of, I can name their whole lineup. It's a lot of great players. So, I think you have to tip your cap to them and say they're the preseason favorite. I don't think you can deny that with what they did last year and who they returned. I think you have to look at them that way. But I think we're in the argument for who's next. No question about it. When we have the pitching that we have, if Andrea's healthy, if Brenna is healthy, hitting, and with some of the players we have that maybe other teams don't know much about yet because we did have those 4-year starters, I think we're in the mix as next. I think you have to look at Ball State after a good year. I think Central Michigan's on the rise. I think Bowling Green is a very good program and with a great pitcher, and I think she made some really nice off-season acquisitions that'll help that team. So, the tournament going from 8 teams to no teams last year was frustrating. We got it back to 4 teams this year, so it'll make things interesting to get into that top 4. It's not going to be, getting into the 8 was something you wanted to always do, but now it's kind of you got to try to get into that top 4. So it'll be a fight. It really will be. But and I didn't even mention Buffalo. Buffalo won 3 out of 4 against us last year. I think that's another team that we have to take. We take them all seriously, but that's a team that I think when we're not playing them and taking them seriously, other teams have to take them seriously because I think Buffalo can be in the mix for that. Yeah. That 4th spot. I think it's tough. I can predict it, but I don't know that I could get it right.
So what do you have to do to really kind of get to where you need to go to get to that conference tournament? Because it's only 4 teams. Mm-hmm. What's it going to be like to really kind of, get to where you need to go? What do you guys think you have to do?
Well, we start with Miami. That's our first conference series. So, and it's there at their place. And we're going to have to, come out there and try to give them our best game, but we also have to understand, regardless of how that series goes, whether we win it, we lose it, we sweep it, they sweep it, we still have 27 more conference games and you got to win series. And, the key is it's 3-game series. You got to go in there and expect 2 out of 3. And if you could get out of there 2 out of 3, that should be enough to get you in the top 4. Then that's the goal, walking in. And, for every series you don't win, that means that's the next series you might have to sweep. So really it's just every game counts. Every game is equal. We can't get too wrapped up in, oh, it's Miami. Oh, it's the school down the road in the big rivalry game. Oh, it's, a teammate I played with in travel ball or high school or whatever it may be. We have to, hey, every game it's a MAC game. They all count in the standings. They all count equally. And at the end of the day, we want to be in the top, in the top 4. And we want to be number 1, but we'll be number 4 if that's what it takes to get in the tournament. And, that's the key. It's just taking each series at a time, each game at a time. And not let, these are all cliches, obviously, but not let your highs get too high or lows get too lows, not worry about the uniform of the other dugout, just go out there and play your best ball. I truly believe with our pitching depth, with the offense that I've seen this team have, even though there's some question marks, especially if I'm outside looking into our program, there's definitely some question marks about the offense. I think if we're playing to our ability consistently and are able to stay relatively healthy, that we should be one of those 4 teams.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to join us, and good luck this season for you and the Golden Flashes.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thanks for your time.